Hey everyone. So I wanted to come on and share something that happened the other day. It was pretty exciting. But first off, you guys, I just wanted to share something else that happened. If you guys watched my last video, you know that my resident Gloria went home to be with the Lord on the 13th. And we were expecting it for a couple days, and she's very, very close to her two sons. And they were just holding out, hoping that it was her UTI that she was going through. She had been declining for about 2 years before she passed away, and she had suffered through a lot of urinary tract infections. But I just think it was just everything combined that she finally just gave up and went home to be with the Lord. So it was a blessing, you guys. But her family's had some pretty severe tragedies happen around Christmas. So I just felt really bad for Scott and Mark that, she went home right around Christmas time on the 13th. So I just ask you guys to pray and ask the Lord to give them comfort and strength and that they can be together as a family. I know a bunch of family members were coming in for Christmas and that they can just share memories and that the Lord will just comfort them and just let them know that he's got Gloria and she's happy. And I did talk to Scott a little bit the night that she did pass away about everything. But, anyways, you guys, the day that she passed, she had been crying like she was in pain. And so my husband decided to take her down and lay her down in her bed. And once he got her downstairs, it was like that's when she started to pass away. It was like the life was just literally drained out of her. And he ran into our bedroom. I was taking a nap, and he said, "You gotta come in here real quick." And so I went in there, and I could see that she was passing away. And Scott was upstairs visiting with another client's family. And so I went up and I told him, I said, "Scott, your mom's passing away, and you need to come down and say goodbye." So I'm trying to hurry him up, before she does take her last breath. And so Scott ran downstairs and he sat on the bed and just held his mom's hand. And I just told him that if he needed anything, we would be upstairs. Just let him and her be by themselves. And so after she passed away, you guys, we went downstairs and Scott said, the most craziest thing happened the last couple breaths that she took. He said for some reason it just felt so crowded in her bedroom, almost like a claustrophobic feeling. But he knew at that moment that all their family members and friends have that are with the Lord came to, um, take her home and welcome her home. And so that just gave him tremendous comfort knowing that, that she's with Jesus and her loved ones came to take her home. And so I'm so blessed and I'm so happy that Scott got to feel that presence of their loved ones. I just thought I would share that, you guys. I can tell you so many stories of the passings that we've had, just the spiritual encounters and angels that I've seen, and the presences that I feel. The angels are really familiar with my house. I can just put it that way. But anyways, you guys, last week I received a new resident, and to make a long story short, one of his family friends that's like his best friend is really really close with him, and they're ranchers, and so he just did a lot of cattle and just was a really hard worker. But he played in a band with two other elderly gentlemen, and they played like country bluegrass. And so back in August, the family had stated that he was getting the beginning stages of dementia in this past summer. And in August, he got this thing called C. diff, and he ended up in the hospital. And for the pain medications that they had put him on, it was like it was just did not go with the chemicals in his body, and just really fast forward his dementia. And it was like an overnight thing. Well, then he tried to get out of bed and he fell and broke his hip. So they ended up putting him in the state hospital because his anxiety levels and agitation levels got extremely high. And I believe it was from the medication. So he came here and he was just kind of like a vegetable, but he was full of anxiety and agitation. And he was so humped over. And I just said, there's something wrong. I mean, I've never in my 20 plus years of doing this have I seen anybody in this condition. So I got him a doctor's appointment the next day and we brought him in, and the doctor wasn't even in the room for like 30 seconds, and she's like, we have to admit him. So his best friend Nicole, she stayed with him and overnight, and just him being able to sleep, he was only like sleeping an hour, and then it was like his tank was full again and he would just go go go. But when he got into the hospital, they must have gave him something that made him sleep like 10 hours. Well, then when he woke up, he was able to sit up, he was able to eat, he started talking. He just seemed like he was back to not his old self, but back to where he was after his hip surgery. So they discharged him and brought him back. And then he just really, like, he was all there, but he was so, like, needed to go, go, go. And so he just needs eyes on him 24/7, and wanting to get up out of his wheelchair, and he can't stand. So it's just, a risk of falling and breaking his other hip. And so it's been just a non-stop battle for the last couple days, which is causing us not to sleep because like I said, he'll power nap for like 20 minutes and then that'll fill his tank up again. And so I've been having to sleep in the recliner right by his bed and just kind of barricade him into bed so he doesn't try and get out of bed. And, anyways, you guys, so I think it was Saturday night. I had got him ready for bed, um, just got the room as black as could be, and then I put the fan on just to do a white noise to help him fall asleep. And he's really, really hard of hearing. So I climbed in the recliner and I'm just laying there. And then all of a sudden, he says, would you look at that? He is opening up the gates. And of course, I wanted to say something, but he's so hard of hearing and I was already in the recliner. And so I just laid there waiting to see if he would say anything else. And then he just kind of jibber jabbered. And then I just went into prayer and I was like, Lord, if this is from you, give me a sign, give me something. And then just prayed and just asked the Lord to come and everything. And then I fell asleep. And then it was just a really rough night, you guys. He was up and we got up about 7:30. And again, I just asked the Lord for a confirmation just to give me something else. And then that morning I had gotten him on the potty chair and then I was putting his socks on and he was just talking away. And then all of a sudden he just said, yep, he's a coming. And I looked up at his face and his eyes were so big and he had a smile from ear to ear, but it was just like he was really looking into me. Like, I just knew it was from the Lord, you guys. I just knew that this was a message. So it was like after Gloria passed away, I was just kind of saddened. As you guys know, I mean, I've had quite a few residents that the Lord's used as a vessel to give me messages. And so when Gloria passed away, it's like, oh, kind of thing. But, and then Jack, just his condition, I just never thought that it would happen, if anything, this quick, what he's going through. So I was pretty excited to receive that message, you guys, and just the confirmation. Yep, he's a coming. So, you guys, I just wanted to share that. And, this last week has just been crazy. And I just wanted to ask you guys to please pray for this gentleman and that the Lord just comforts him and brings him back to a happy medium where he can just enjoy the rest of his life and whatever time we have left, and just takes this agitation and anxiety away, and that he can just live in peace, and that Mike and I just can continue working through this detox. I think we're just detoxing him off of all this hardcore, I believe it was really hardcore medication that they had put him on. Just really messed with him just because of the dementia and stuff. So when we did take him to the doctor, they said it could take up to 6 weeks to completely get all this out of his system. And like I said, Mike's been taking care of the other residents, and I've been having to do one on one with him. I just can't leave his side. So it's just been just a nonstop, continuous work ethic to just all the energy that we're putting into this gentleman, and putting the other three on Mike's shoulders. We're just absolutely exhausted, and then we have family coming in tonight and Christmas tomorrow. So I just pray that the Lord gets us through the holidays, and just gets this house back to normal within, by the end of the year, that we can just get him detoxed as fast as we can, and get back to our normal lives. But also, you guys, I know I haven't been on YouTube barely at all, but I do know I watched a video from Darla, and I know at the Rapture Kitty channel right now, they are coming in agreement with calling down God's judgment and praying that the Lord comes. And I know many people have said, that they don't want the Lord to come until, all souls are saved. And I'm thinking, not every soul is going to be saved, of course, because there's just so many lost people and living in the world, and it doesn't matter what happens, you guys. A lot of these people will never open their eyes, and it's going to take the rapture to finally have them come to Christ. But we just need to ask the Lord to, send his mighty angels down here and put the lost in our paths that we can witness to, and just get busy on this, and get these last few people saved that are going to go in the rapture, and that things can just escalate and the Lord can come. And I just watched a series from Lynn Lott channel, and I was absolutely blown away by what she has found in the constellation. And I don't want to go into great detail, you guys, because I don't have the full understanding and full picture of it, but she is pointing from now to January 20th. And I know there's a super blood moon sometime in January. I'm not sure when it is, but right now she's talking about, I believe, the sun being in Cancer, which is another 69 connection. And then she was talking about Hercules, which I received a dream, and I can't remember exactly what the dream was, but I saw this image in the stars, and when I looked it up, the closest resemblance that I had was Hercules. So I was just like, whoa. And then she was also talking about the twins, the Gemini twins. So I was just like, even though I don't understand this is really exciting because I've received this, and I've also received many, many blood moon dreams, along with, all you guys as well. So, you guys, things are just escalating just everywhere, everything that's happening in the Middle East. And you guys, it's just incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. And I just know that we just don't have much longer. And I always think back to my dream, and I was just even telling my husband, I was like, well, The bright side, we only have maximum a year. If that dream that I received 2.5 years ago when I prayed and asked the Lord, you don't have to tell me exactly when you're coming, but could you please tell me the very latest? And without telling the dream, you guys, he did show me that day when I laid down to take a nap that it would be before Christmas of next year. So I'm like, bright side, we only have like 365 days to go, if even, but that would be the very latest. And I'm not saying that is, but if this dream is from the Lord, that's what he was showing me, that next Christmas is the very latest. But as you guys can see, everything just coming ahead. And Tim Henderson, I believe is his name, and I've said this over and over too, like once that first domino falls, it's all going to fall. And I believe it's the rapture that's going to, be that first domino, and then everything's going to happen. But we can see that God is bringing everything into play. It's kind of like a chess game. He's getting it all ready and everything into its place, and then it's just going to take off, you guys. So we just got to keep on waiting and watching and not giving up, you guys. We're just in the very last seconds of the end, and it's time to go home. I truly believe that, you guys. So it's so exciting to know how close we are, and just even though it's just chaos and just horrible, horrible things going on around the world, we just still, we need to pray for like Israel and everything that's happening, but also rejoice and know that these things are in the Bible and they have to take place. So, we just, like I said, we just got to keep on praying for everything that's happening, and then our lost brothers and sisters, and even lukewarmers coming back to Christ and getting on fire for them, and so that they can go out and witness, that their eyes are open and like, whoa, like they didn't realize exactly the times that we're in, but that they get back on fire for the Lord, and then they start witnessing. I mean, we need every Christian on this earth to get out there and do what they can. It's just so important, you guys, just so, so important. But I think that's all I got. And I just wanted to wish you guys a very blessed Merry Christmas. And hopefully we're gone by the new year. But if we're still here January 1st, I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. And blessings abound, you guys. But like I said, I'm going to do another video, I hope, around the 29th, 30th or so. And if I receive anything else, of course, I'll come on and share it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, and God bless you.